glad to be part of something very exciting and very environmentally friendly and a wonderful initiative. I congratulate Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, who is actually the man who made this happen, who is actually the man who took the initiative, who's coordinated, who's done everything that he could, and who's made this happen. I congratulate Jayesh and Telangana State Industrial Infrastructure Corporation. Arikepudi Gandhi Garu, Honorable MLA Sherlingampalli, Harpreet Singh Garu, Secretary IT, CV Anand, Commissioner of Police, Cyberabad, Narasimha Reddy Garu, Executive Director, TSIIC, Avinash Mohanty, DCP Traffic, Cyberabad, Ms. Rita Soni, CEO of the NASCOM Foundation. Thank you for coming all the way from Delhi. And Sri Raghupati Garu, CII Executive Director of the CII GBC, the Green Building Concept. Mr. Raghu Babu Garu, Senior Technical Advisor and Program Coordinator for GIZ. Sunita Prasad Garu, Dr. Sunita Prasad, Director General SRACO. Ms. Vishala Reddy from Identity. Neelam Ravinder Mudiraj Garu, Local Corporator Garu, GHMC. This is a wonderful concept. The idea is simple. I think Hyderabad and we all want to go so green that we want to make other metropolises in India go green with envy. That's the idea essentially. Going green in all aspects, meaning I think it's a 5-point program that we've just launched, which includes retrofitting of green buildings, retrofitting of existing buildings that is, so that they are recoined as green buildings, and then zero waste buildings, accessible buildings, making them friendly to the physically challenged and disabled, and safe disposal of electronic waste, because we are in an IT domain, IT SEZ, IT area. So safe disposal of electronic waste is one of the priorities. And finally, I think cycling to work. This is a wonderful initiative. I think HBC, wherever Mr. Manohar is, I think he's been a part of this as well. And Hyderabad Bicycling Club has also played its role. Thank you very much. And as my friend from GIZ had mentioned, GIZ has been worked with government on a variety of aspects. In fact, they've done tremendous amount of work in the last 10 years. They've, as he had explained, worked with the Green Industrial Park in Jacharla in setting it up and in fact greening it. And they've also worked with ELEAP, the Women's Industrial Park in Nandigama of Mahbub Nagar district. They've also helped in retrofitting of existing industrial parks in Nacharam and Mallapur. They've also helped in basically coming up with an assessment on where we are as far as environmental awareness is concerned. There was an environmental drive in about 35 industrial parks around Hyderabad by GIZ. And most important thing, they have trained our TSIIC officials, the Telangana State Industrial Infrastructure Corporation officials. And I'm very, very happy to also announce that GIZ, as part of climate change adaptation in industrial areas, has also pledged a contribution of about 10 crores rupees. So we all need to give them a big round of applause, I think, for what they've done and what they've committed to also doing. At the same time, we're also happy to note that many of the IT parks, in fact, I think about 5 of them have just come forward. They've come forward and expressed interest in implementing the retrofitting of IT parks. We also noted that the technical guidance is very, very important for these guys to achieve what they've set out to achieve. In fact, I should also thank, I forgot to thank, not just GIZ, but also NASCOM Foundation, Identity, the CII Green Building, CII GDB that is, and SRACO, SRACO, for also being part of this wonderful initiative. Now, we understand that consultants and good advice is important in a program such as this. So we are very pleased to announce, the Telangana state is very pleased to announce, a funding support of about 5 lakh rupees to selected IT parks, and those 5 gentlemen have come forward. They'll all be receiving 5 lakhs each from the government. This can purely be used to appoint a consultant or an expert to assess the feasibility studies. This is merely a token gesture, merely a simple incentive. For the scale that you have, I'm sure 5 lakhs is not something that you can't afford, but we wanted to show our token of appreciation, and therefore the government has come forward to support this as well. Also, the 5 that I just spoke about is Tech Mahindra, of course, and TSI Wave Rock, Phoenix, Divyasri, and iLabs. We have about 124 buildings in this part of the town. Now, NASCOM Foundation would be working for about, I'm told, 6 months to come up with a feasibility report, and we will have all the 124 buildings be ready with their to ensure that they are accessible for the physically challenged, and also that they are retrofitted. And Identity, as Jayesh had mentioned, has, I think, about 200 bikes, or 300 rather, 300 bikes. The concept is, cycle to work. We are definitely going to increase that number with support and contribution from various corporates around here. We would like to take that to 2,000. We are not content with having it at 300. We'll definitely take that to 2,000, so that more and more people get involved in this. In fact, Hyderabad Bicycling Club had yesterday put forward an interesting suggestion. They had mentioned that we have a world-class outer ring road today, and then we also have an adjacent service road. I had a quick conversation, an informal conversation with Mr. Jayesh Ranjan. We'll also take it up formally. What was proposed was that there be a cycling track in between the outer ring road and the service road, so that we could actually host international events in our own very Hyderabad. So that is something that we would be very keen to do, very keen to work on. So I think I'd request Jayesh Ranjan, who's done a wonderful job here, to also spearhead that initiative as well. And I'm glad our friend from police here, Cyberabad Commissioner, has come forward, has agreed. In fact, he had said when I think it was NASCOM Foundation which was talking about retrofitting and making green buildings. Cyberabad Commissioner has come forward, Mr. C.V. Anand, and he said, why don't you start with my commissionerate? So I think we should all applaud our commissioner here to actually volunteering and for wanting to be the first building. I think it's only a 7-year-old building, so I'm sure we can do a good job of that. And as you also may have noticed, this government is doing everything in its capacity to ensure that Hyderabad and its presence is felt and is made visible across the country and across the world as well. We are not just focusing on retrofitting and not just focusing on ensuring that the existing buildings are made green. We're also launching a heavy drive to increase the green cover in the state of Telangana. In fact, in the next 3 years, our Chief Minister has instructed the Social Forestry and also HMDA and GHMC to plant about 200 crore plus saplings across the state of Telangana to increase the green cover from 25% to an ideal 33%. So we just don't want a industrially developed Telangana, but at the same time we want a Telangana which is environmentally friendly. We want a Telangana which is going to take care of its future generations in the best possible manner. So all in all, I think it's a wonderful program, and I haven't seen a better auditorium in Hyderabad. I must congratulate Tech Mahindra for that as well. And all in all, a great initiative. And I'm very, very positive that all the IT parks and all the IT buildings and the property managers around here would be part of this initiative, would be happy to take this forward. And any support you would need from our side, from the government of Telangana, we'll be more than happy to do. Thank you very much once again.